So James, I'm a simple creature, but I'm mildly confused. Have you retired or announced your retirement or not?
You're confused. Imagine being me. I woke up in the morning and I said to, my phone was buzzing and it was Alan Gow, my manager, and his message was, "Why the hell did you retire on TV last night?" But I said, I didn't retire. And then, looking back at it, I kind of did retire. I was always, the end of next year was going to be, I was thinking, to myself that it was going to be the end. And then I would move on. That's why I started all this real estate stuff. But yeah, I didn't mean to blow it out and make this the 18-month tour, final lap, say goodbye to James sort of thing. But yeah, so I am, but I didn't mean to do it this early.
It is a long way out. So was it always the intention to get to the end of 2025 and no longer be a full-time driver? Is that what you're intending to do?
Yeah, so that was the plan. I was going to see out this time with BRT and then quietly disappear into the background. It turns out I've done the exact opposite and announced it incredibly early, and now we're all going to have to deal with this for the next 18 months.
It's arrivederci, James, and it goes on forever. So tell me about the career. Junior and senior world karting champion, success in British Formula Ford, success in Japanese Formula 3, done a lot of things, success in our category in supercars as a champion. You've driven a Formula 1 car. You're happy with the body of work?
Yes, for sure. There's little things along the way that results or races that didn't go the way that you'd hoped and all that sort of stuff. Everyone's going to have regrets through their career and things that I've done throughout that time. But holistically, I don't think I would have changed or I would change any of it, because ultimately I'm here sitting in front of you, the man I am and the person I am, because of the things that have happened to me throughout that time. So at the time, sure, would have loved to have changed it, I suppose. But ultimately, yeah, I'm happy with everything the way it's gone.
What are the highs? Or is there a notable high that stands out in its own right?
I'd say there's two highs. I couldn't really pick one. I'd say ultimately the first time I drove the Formula 1 car is easily, because growing up 20 minutes down the road here, being always told you'll never amount to anything, you're wasting your time. And then to be able to achieve that ultimate goal of getting to Formula 1. So that's easily one of them. And the other one would be Homebush on the Saturday, when, not even when we won the championship, but in that moment when we're all in the wall, I think you or Mark called it. And for the boys to see the passion in that team, in that moment, and for them to deliver and get the car out for me to then go and finish that race, and then ultimately the next day we could win the championship, is for me the pinnacle of teamwork and an amazing team working and everyone doing their job for the guy beside them to get that result. So that'd be the two moments.
One of the toughest things about this business is getting up off the mat, and there are often more lows than there are highs. Tell me about some of the tough times.
I think I've probably cried on the phone to you a few times, Neil. It's hard to explain it. I suppose that the painful thing with our sport is you can be the best and put in the most effort, the most work, and be at the top of your game, but there's so many external factors which can affect ultimately our result, whether it be something go wrong with the team stop or the pit stop, or the car setup isn't quite there, or whatever it is. But with other sports, if the amount of work you put in and the effort you put in delivers the result. So I think dealing with that emotion throughout the whole journey has been the toughest thing, and the thing that probably with experience you learn to understand and manage a lot more, and you don't become so emotional over a race weekend, is controlling and dealing with that emotion over that period. So I think it builds resilience. I think as a sport, the people that we produce and leave our sport are so much more resilient than other sports people that leave. And I think the sport has also taught me important the commercial aspect of it is, and like with you dealing with the media and being able to present ourselves. I think it's such an expensive sport, and at a young age you learn how expensive that is and how important money is, and relationships, managing that stuff. Us sitting down in a news studio and you making me read the news. At the time I was thinking, this old bastard's got no idea what he's doing, I just want to drive a car fast. But those sorts of things, that's why I'm still sitting here, Neil, because of the effort like guys like yourself have put in, getting emotional, have put in with me and given that risk and their time, and in the end that's that's delivered me and made me the guy that I am. And I think going back to where it was is that as a sport, I think we produce great athletes and great rounded people, and after sport, so many guys that we've raced against can go on to bigger and better things and continue to grow and develop in business as you have. And yeah, I'm happy to be part of that and to race this long, and hopefully I can roll on and do something like you. I think I need a breath to calm down.
Get it together, James.
Oh,
So
yes.
once you do get it together...
Are you getting emotional,
No,
Steve?
no, I'm all good.
I think you need to get a camera
No,
on
I
your
know the
guys.
whole story, you see. So I know the whole story from step one. So what is next? What happens to you when you stop being a full-time participant in this paddock? What are you going to do?
So I started probably 12 months ago, 18 months ago, sort of thinking about what the afterlife is, and you know, I love racing, so I always wanted to be involved in racing somehow, or cars. So I did my car dealership license, and I sort of figured, oh, it's not really for me. And then I thought, because sales seems to be something that's, because we're selling ourselves the whole time, my whole life. I've sold, as you taught me, we're a show business, and if we're not entertaining or in front of people, we're not valuable. So keep yourself as a show. And part of that is selling myself to sponsors and team owners, and always having something to say when the media come up and want to talk to you, and just keeping yourself relevant. And so sales was part of that. I love real estate, or I love buying and selling houses. I've given a couple away, but through bad things. But but I love that whole aspect of it, and buying a house and renovating it and selling it. So I got the opportunity to go and do my real estate license, and sort of dabbled a little bit in it throughout the end of last year, the start of this year, and really enjoyed the process, and became so easy. I think one thing that I spoke about a little bit before is that ability that, dealing with sponsors, and you learn to sell yourself, is that, 1 minute we're sitting in here in the corporate suite talking to the CEO of a multinational company, and then we go downstairs and we're talking to a couple and their son that they're working class like I was, living out at Penrith, and you can adapt to both situations. So I think that rolls on into that ability to sell real estate and being able to get a connection with people.
Can you go proper cold turkey? Can you walk out of here at the end of 2025 and not want to be a co-driver, or dabble in some other support category or other area of the sport?
Well, I think that depends on a few things. I don't think I could walk away from the sport completely. It's my life. I've lived and breathed this since I was 6-7 years old. It's the only thing I've ever known and wanted to do. So I don't think I could just walk away and not have any sort of media commitment or race team involvement or enduro driver thing. The enduro driving side of things is it's an interesting way afterwards, but for me, I'd find it hard go that way. Just purely the fact that it's like you've spent your whole life, and you are the anchor, you are the man that everyone goes to, the person who's in charge, people everyone looks up to within the TV side of things. And but then for you to then go down and be the junior reporter and stuff, that's at the end of your career, it seems like it's the wrong way to go. And for me, I would think that's what being a co-driver would ultimately end up being. So for me, I'd much rather do something with yourself, or like in the media space, because I really love telling the story of our sport. And whenever I do stuff with supercars and on TV, it's something that I think I enjoy telling that story about our sport, because I am passionate about it. I know so much about it, and it's fun.
You got any regrets?
I got plenty of regrets, but again, it is what it moves like it. Adelaide in whenever it was with Craig Lowndes, when we hit and went into the wall as SBR, it would have been maybe 2009, third last corner, a couple of last laps to the end. I was young, eager. There was an overlap. He turned in. I was like, the old boy's going off here. I'll sacrifice myself, because then he won't do it again, which he didn't do it again, but we lost a result out of it. So things like that, nowadays, a bit later in your career, you probably would have backed out and attacked the next corner. So there is regrets. But yeah, I'd rather regret the things that I've done than regret not doing them, mate.